September 2022. The Alaska Highway, northbound. You know that old saying, you make plans and God laughs? Welcome to our world. The plan? To zoom up to Alaska, spend a winter, then head back down in the spring. Well, as I'm sure you've guessed, that's not what happened. There's a few lessons you learn real quick when you live on the road. First, magic happens when you let go of the plan. Second, time is the greatest currency of all. That's why one of the things we fear the most is a major breakdown. August 7th, 2025. The Alaska Highway, southbound. A couple years later than expected, we are finally on our way south. But a transmission problem stopped us in our tracks, and we paid a high price. Time, that irreplaceable currency, is all the more precious up here, and by the end of August, you can really start to feel the clock ticking. August 26th, 2025. Present day, bus fixed and ready for the road. Here's where we'll say goodbye to the Alaska Highway and head down the Stewart Cassiar Highway into the wild heart of British Columbia. It's an extremely remote road, and our faith in the bus is a bit shaken, but we're going for it. Join us as we take on our first leg of the Cassiar. It's only an 150-mile stretch, but it packs more punch than you will ever believe. Put your trust in this old bus with us and explore the striking beauty of northern British Columbia. A chapter that begins here, at the moment of a pretty important goodbye.
All right, so what do you think? We put it right here, maybe?
What about right here next to Whitehorse?
Oh yeah, that'll work.
It's certainly a bittersweet moment to be saying goodbye to the Yukon for good. Now it's BC all the way till we get to the States.
But I'm leaving a little baby Bobby here in the border between BC and the Yukon.
British Columbia is the third largest province in Canada, stretching from the 60th parallel to the US border. There are only two main highways that connect the Yukon to northern BC, the Alaska Highway and the Cassiar. The first 50 miles of the Cassiar traverse a unique part of the province, one perhaps most appreciated from the air. We won't lie, after 3 weeks stuck in place, it sure feels good to be back on the road. We are now in a region called the Liard Plain. Here, the land bears the mark of an earth-shaping force that has long since disappeared. Long ridges called eskers and teardrop-shaped hills called drumlins undulate across the landscape. They form beneath a glacier and are only revealed to us once the ice melts away. Their names come from the Irish words for long ridge and little hill. It's not uncommon for drumlins and eskers to coincide with ponds and small lakes. Retreating glaciers often leave behind large blocks of ice, which create depressions in the land, which later fill with water. We call them pothole or kettle lakes. If you're lucky to see bears up in the north, chances are you'll see them eating. They really don't have much time to fatten up before returning to hibernation. Brown and black bears are omnivores, with more than 75% of their diet from plants. In today's case, flowers. We are grateful it's a bright sunny day, because that means we'll see our next stop in its full glory. It's a spot that feels most out of place here in the north. If one didn't know better, you'd think you'd have been transported to the Caribbean. Color is a fascinating thing to really reflect on. We tend to think of color as an inherent property. The ball is red, the grass is green, the water is blue. But really, nothing has color. It just absorbs some wavelengths of light and reflects others back to our eyes. The ball absorbs all light except red. The grass absorbs all light except green. And the jaw-dropping waters of Boya Lake absorb all but blue and green wavelengths, which it then scatters and sends back to our eyes. In the end, what we perceive is one of the most dazzling spectacles put on by Mother Nature. You can imagine how anxious we are to get out on that water and see if it looks the same down there as it does from the air.
Ready?
Yep.
It turns out, even from right here on the water, the color is just as striking.
It's unreal, the color of the water, right?
Beautiful.
And it's so clear.
On this spot right here, I can see clearly down the
All the way
bottom of
down.
the lake.
It's amazing.
In this part of the world, it's not uncommon for bright turquoise lakes to get their color from fine glacial silt suspended in the water. But that's not the case at Boya Lake. Here, it has everything to do with eerily white mud on the lake bottom. That mud is made up of sediments that form quite differently from glacial silt. Sometimes groundwater can become unusually enriched in dissolved calcium carbonate. In warm, shallow conditions like here, it can precipitate out as tiny white crystals that settle on the lake bed, forming a bright white layer called marl. That white layer reflects and amplifies those blue and green wavelengths scattered in the water, giving marl lakes their extraordinary turquoise hue.
Ready?
Beat me up, Scotty. That's good. Thank you.
You're welcome. What you gonna do?
I want to see if I can balance this rock right here, since people got some piles of rocks up right here. Let's see. It's windy, so it's gonna be hard. I don't know if it's gonna be possible. That's solid right there. And then I'm gonna balance that one over there. I think this is gonna work a little better. I think it's possible.
That was fast.
I mean, the wind is not helping much, but I'll balance it right here. Ta-da! You think we can do one more?
That's amazing.
I think we can do one more. Okay, I'm gonna try this one. I'm not sure it's gonna work because of the wind. I think I'm a little too ambitious here. You see, I got the top one already going, but the third one, ta-da! 4. First time I've done 4. Okay, I think that's it.
Wow. Congratulations. That's amazing. What'd you think of it out here?
It's beautiful. Look at all the ripples down there at the bottom.
It's so calm. Oh, it's shallow here. Woo.
Let's keep going this way and we go around that island and then we get back to our campsite.
Are you sure it's an island?
Yep.
Imagine this completely glassed over in wild ice.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Just skate around the islands.
So much surface to skate on. Wow. I'll be doing this loop for hours. It will be really amazing.
You know you're in love with the North when you're here in the spring, summer, or autumn, and still you can't help but fantasize about how beautiful it must be in the winter. The warm, sunny days we've been having are deceptive, but nighttime and early morning reveal the season. Mist on the lake means the water is warmer than the air, and autumn is rearing its head here in northern BC. We have a long way to go before the snow flies, and the bus ran like a dream on the drive here. When we leave Boya Lake, we'll be placing all our bets that she'll make the rest of the way drama-free. Because after the gentle rolling hills of the Liard Plain come mountains that will be the first real test of her recent repairs. Good thing extreme beauty has a way of distracting from anxious thoughts. Here on this part of the journey, we are in the traditional and contemporary lands of the Cascadena First Nation, whose name for this lake is Ta Chi'ila. It translates to blanket full of holes, quite an apt naming when seen from above. This blanket of holes is, once again, thanks to the earth-shaping effect of glaciers. This lake is considered one of the most iconic kettle lake formations in all of northern British Columbia.
Straight back. Stay there.
Today, we will leave the Liard Plain behind and enter the ancient Cassiar Mountains. We don't know it yet, but a little bit of magic awaits us there in the range. Here is where we put full faith in the bus as we now push into one of BC's most isolated stretches of highway. It will be nearly 400 miles before we come upon a town with more than 1,000 people. And so, into the mountains we go. The Cassiar Mountains are not a coastal range, nor are they part of the Canadian Rockies. They stand in between, and their story began in the last 200 million years when land masses collided with the western edge of North America, pushing a tremendous amount of rock into the sky. Since then, ice ages and the relentless forces of erosion have worn the Cassiar Mountains down, revealing a treasure they brought with them from the deep.
Free coffee. Best idea ever. Okay, so the mission is a little piece of jade for our niece, something for my mama, and maybe a little piece of something for us to keep with us in the bus too, just to remember this place.
So if you hold them up to the light, you can see the...
It's cool. You can see the texture too.
Yeah.
Some of them. I really like that one. That's cool.
Like this this one here, you can see through a
Yeah.
little bit more. These are just little offcuts from the jade that's been shipped away and has been made into different objects, and then these are the pieces that are left over. These are, guys, if you put them, you can spray them outside, but the green really comes out when you get it wet.
Okay.
And then if you wanted it to stay that kind of green, then you can just put some mineral oil, some type of oil on there, and it will actually stay nice and green like that.
I'm thinking what would be cool to get lots of little pieces if I eventually write a rock storyteller book about jade, to have lots of little pieces for the little ones. Have a whole stash of Jade City jade.
All the stuff you guys get from.
So cool how the water helps bring it out. I got me a bag of jade. Jade is a valuable stone prized for its rich green hue. When carved and polished, it is unmistakable. For thousands of years, civilizations from the Maya to the Maori to the Chinese have treasured jade as a symbol of power, beauty, and spiritual significance.
Is all of this jade from here?
Oh yeah, all of the jade on the property is all mined by us. We do the jade and then also the rhodonite and then the hematite. Those are all found in the area.
There are actually two minerals known as jade, jadeite and nephrite. This is nephrite. Its interlocking crystals make it extremely tough, and its silky, marbled texture says a lot about how it formed. This stone could only form deep within the earth. Rewind to the same scenario that uplifted the Cassiar Mountains. Land masses colliding with North America provide just the conditions for nephrite jade to form. Unimaginable pressure, heat, and hot fluids transform magnesium and calcium-rich rock into nephrite. Then, the uplift of the Cassiar Range brings all that nephrite closer to the surface. Ice ages and relentless erosion finish the job, exposing the jade for miners to find. And in this corner of the world, boy, has jade been found. The Bunce family has been mining and selling jade here since founding Jade City in 1985. The family-run affair remains at the heart of this small, unincorporated settlement of about 35 people. But what us tourists see here at the roadside shop is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the heartbeat of jade mining in British Columbia. It's back in the mountains that a much stronger pulse is underway. To be honest, it wasn't jade that drew us down this back road, but rather a ghost town. Turns out jade isn't the only resource these mountains have offered up to industry. But unlike that harmless green stone, this other substance turned out to be quite toxic, and the world found out a bit too late. Asbestos is a fibrous mineral with excellent heat resistance and insulating properties. Unfortunately, those same fine fibers wreak havoc in human lungs. From 1952 to 1992, the Cassiar asbestos mine was a major operation in British Columbia. This mountain of waste rock is testament to its size, and it wasn't the only thing left behind when the mine closed. When the mine shut down, the entire town of Cassiar ceased to exist, and we came here hoping to walk its deserted streets. But we've just learned that active jade mining is underway in the area, and access to the ghost town is now restricted. We could put up the drone and glimpse it in the distance from the air, but we don't fly from private property without permission. So we head back, a bit disappointed, not realizing that the magic of the road is about to pay us a visit. You know, there's an interesting contradiction up here in the north. The land is vast, but the community can feel quite tiny. A small town stretched across great distances. We bring this up because as we're driving back, who should happen to pass us on this remote dead-end road? The same kind soul who patiently worked with us to tow old Bobby Bus off the Alaska Highway when we broke down. How about that? His dad is Scrappy Larry, who owns and operates the scrapyard between the tailing pile and the old town site, which means we just got our permission to launch the drone and catch a glimpse of Cassiar Ghost Town from the air. At its peak, Cassiar had a population upwards of 2,000, complete with a grocery store, church, school, bank, hospital, post office, and movie theater. It was a flourishing company town. But that's the thing about working for the man in a company town. If the man falls, all fall with him. The Cassiar Asbestos Corporation declared bankruptcy in 1992, and the entire town was auctioned off piece by piece over the course of only 5 days. According to Global News, anything not sold or repurposed was demolished, plowed under, and planted over. And just like that, a town the size of the one I grew up in was wiped from the face of the planet. Now all that remains is the faintest trace of its streets, an eerie grid etched into a wilderness quickly reclaiming it. Far in the distance, we see jade mining underway. There's a high chance that most of it, if not all of it, is destined for China. Jade has deep cultural significance in the Middle Kingdom, considered a bridge between the living and the dead. It is a powerful symbol of status and wealth, and the country's growing middle class is hungry for it. British Columbia is one of the major players meeting that need, and interestingly enough, a great deal of British Columbia jade makes its way to Guangzhou, the very city where Jose and I met. We leave Jade City to head deeper into the mountains and even farther from any major town or city. Our goal is to make it all the way through the range, and now with a little taste of that road magic and nothing but purring from this old bus, we're starting to feel it. We may be running on the fumes of summer, but we're starting to get the feeling that this late season journey down the Cassiar may have a few more magical moments up its sleeve. It feels good to sit with this thought as we drive headlong through the Cassiars, a truly wild range with one lonely ribbon of highway coursing through.
And it's then that I'm reminded just how beautiful you are. Even when my faith is falling,
Evening falls with just enough light to see our surroundings as we emerge from the mountains and come out onto the Stikine Plateau. It's official. We are really in the wild now. But if you can believe it, there is a road out here that takes the term remote to another level and makes the Cassiar Highway look like child's play. We get into camp eager to hit the sack because that is where we're taking you next time on Art We There Yet?
And it's then that I'm reminded just how beautiful you are. Even when my faith is falling, you're still carrying my heart. My heart is covered in your love. It's covered in your love. And it's then that I'm reminded just how beautiful you are.